The honourable member for Kitchener Centre.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I will be sharing my time with the member for Scarborough Centre. And, Mr. Speaker, I very much appreciate this opportunity to speak about the Government of Canada's leadership on clean energy. It's truly a very good news story. Not only do we possess substantial reserves of conventional energy, but Canada is making a big name for itself in the clean energy sector. We've been leaders for some time, producing about 77% of our electricity from non-emitting sources like hydro generation and nuclear power. Our government has moved aggressively in recent years with billions of dollars worth of investments in clean energy, balancing our need for economic growth with our need to protect the environment. Since 2006, the government has delivered over $10 billion to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. This funding has leveraged an additional $25 billion in private investment, creating over 5,000 new jobs, many in the growing clean tech sector. We're fighting emissions through innovation in green infrastructure, energy efficiency, clean energy, and renewables. We are positioning Canada to lead in the clean tech sector and creating jobs for the future. Our overall goal is to reduce Canada's greenhouse gas emissions by 17% below 2005 levels by 2020. This is a target that aligns with U.S. plans. Canada has significant opportunities to expand its share of the global market for energy and energy-related products, creating prosperity across this great country. Here are just a few of the activities our government has put into play. Our newest program, the Eco-Energy Innovation Initiative, was just launched in August of this year. It's a 2-year, $97 million investment to support a wide range of collaboration among industry, colleges, universities, and government. These projects will focus on research, development, and demonstration in 5 key areas: energy efficiency in buildings, communities, and industry and transportation; clean electricity and renewables; bioenergy; research and development of electric vehicles; and unconventional oil and gas. The demonstration component will focus on clean electricity and the integration of renewables into the grid and the built environment. Then there's the $78 million Eco-Energy Efficiency Initiative that will improve energy efficiency at home, at work, and on the road, saving Canadians money while reducing greenhouse gas emissions. The Eco-Energy Efficiency Initiative will make the housing, building, and transportation industries more energy efficient. Now, improving energy efficiency is one of the fastest, greenest, and most cost-effective ways for Canadians to reduce greenhouse gases and to save energy. Mr. Speaker, the next phase of Canada's Economic Action Plan is also advancing the clean energy sector on several fronts by delivering a number of strategic investments. For example, we have renewed the highly popular Eco-Energy Retrofit Homes program. This helps Canadians make energy-efficient home renovations. The renewed Retrofit Homes program could help up to 250,000 Canadian homeowners across Canada improve their home's energy efficiency and also generate up to $4 billion in economic activity. We've also delivered another $40 million to Sustainable Development Technology Canada for the commercialization of clean technologies, a fantastic organization. The 2010 Energy Efficiency Regulations minimum energy performance standards have resulted in an annual reduction in greenhouse gas emissions of 26 megatons. Once the minimum energy performance standards are fully in place, products that consume 80% of the energy used in Canadian homes, institutions, and businesses will become regulated. Now, these are significant achievements in our efforts to reduce emissions. What's more, the benefits of these and other eco-energy investments will continue for years and years to come. For example, the Eco-Energy for Renewable Power program will deliver $1.5 billion in investments over the next 10 years to support our renewable energy industry. And the Eco-Energy for Biofuels program will provide production incentives to producers of cleaner renewable fuels such as ethanol and biodiesel until 2017. Not to mention that our investments in carbon capture and storage projects will help position Canada as a producer of reliable, clean electricity for decades to come. One project, for example, that is now under construction is the fully integrated CCS unit at Sask Power's Boundary Dam coal-fired power generation unit in Estevan, Saskatchewan. Our government delivered $240 million of investment, which will leverage $1 billion from the provincial utility and will transform Unit 3 at Boundary Dam Power Station into a reliable, long-term producer of 100 megawatts of clean baseload electricity, while enhancing oil production and reducing greenhouse gas emissions by capturing 1 million tons of carbon dioxide per year. Mr. Speaker, we have many, many examples of clean energy success stories across Canada. The Drake Landing solar community south of Calgary, for example, recently received the prestigious 2011 Energy Globe World Award for Sustainability. Now, Drake Landing comprises 52 homes that are part of North America's very first large-scale seasonal storage solar heating system. This is the first such project in the world to provide nearly 90% of domestic space heating requirements from solar energy. BC Hydro's smart grid technology project is installing large-scale batteries in 2 remote communities. These will provide clean power to the entire community during any outage. They will also help manage peak electricity demands during periods with a low environmental footprint. We're helping 4 maritime utilities, led by New Brunswick Power Corporation, as they integrate smart grid technologies, load management, and intermittent renewables. Also, on the East Coast, the Fundy Ocean Research Center for Energy is working to harness power from the most energy-rich tides in the world. Our government's support for the Lower Churchill River projects in Newfoundland and Labrador will boost clean energy production also in Atlantic Canada. The production potential of the Lower Churchill's project is enormous. Muskrat Falls alone will have a generating capacity of 824 megawatts. That's enough to produce an estimated 4.9 million megawatt hours per year. That is equivalent, Mr. Speaker, to powering almost 500,000 Canadian homes. This clean renewable energy provides an opportunity for Newfoundland and Labrador and Nova Scotia to meet their own needs in an environmentally sustainable way. Once completed, Newfoundland and Labrador will obtain up to 98% of their electricity from non-emitting sources, reducing carbon dioxide emissions by up to 4.5 megatons. Mr. Speaker, as all members can see, the Government of Canada is delivering real emission reductions while still maintaining Canada's economic advantage. In this way, our government is helping the energy sector to become more competitive, create new, greener jobs for Canadians, and further protect our environment. Canada's energy sector, including clean tech, has an extremely positive impact on our national economy. Energy represents roughly 7% of our gross domestic product. It supports hundreds of thousands of jobs across the country. It's a major contributor to Canada's economic stability and quality of life. The positive impact of our energy sector is found throughout Canada's economy in manufacturing, support services, construction, engineering, and the financial sector. We need to continue delivering major investments in our infrastructure so that we can diversify Canada's energy markets. We need to continue our progress developing our vast resources in an environmentally responsible way. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Questions and comments. The Honourable Member for Longueuil-Pierre Boucher. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'd like to thank my colleague for his speech. However, he said, like all colleagues can see, Canada's making a lot of effort. No, I cannot see that. I've heard you, however. I've heard a great deal with regard to what efforts are being made, but in concrete terms, the reality is that across the planet, we are being talked about as to how we develop the tar sands, and I'd like to know, questioning the actions they want to take, the government wants to take to improve perception and the reality of the development of that resource.
For Langley's rising on point of order.
Mr. Speaker, I heard on the translation the term of tar sands. The scientific and accurate term is oil sands. Is that?
I'm not aware of the translation, but that's a point of debate rather than a point of order. The honourable member for Kitchener Centre.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I know that the members opposite highly respect CBC and its commentators, so I would like to just respond to the question regarding the oil sands with a quote from Rex Murphy from the CBC, and he said as follows, quote, "One of the first orders of business over there in Durban land, as it was in Copenhagen, is how bad Canada is, and particularly the Canadian oil sands." He says further, "This one project, more than perhaps any other in Canada, has kept us out of the worst of the recession, and isn't it not then bizarre that at Durban, whole countries like China and India with massive populations and absolutely huge industrial and manufacturing enterprises developing more and more electricity plants and coal generating stations are let off the hook by the campaigners. The production of those countries dwarfs into nearly total insignificance whatever the oil sands may represent," and I endorse what Mr. Murphy had to say about that.
Questions and comments? The honourable member for Etobicoke North.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The Natural Resources Minister has said we will continue to do what we have to do to meet our Kyoto obligations. However, the Minister of the Environment has now said that formally pulling out of Kyoto is an option for Canada. But when questioned repeatedly by reporters, he declined to confirm or deny a CTV News report that the Cabinet has decided to withdraw from the agreement right after the Durban conference during the holiday season. Will the government formally pull out of Kyoto? If it is the intention of the Government of Canada to renege on a treaty that was ratified by the Parliament of Canada, why would the Government of Canada not say so now? Why not bring it forward for debate in Parliament? I asked for an emergency debate. We've asked for a take-note debate before the charade of participating in Durban. Why such a double standard?
The honourable member for Kitchener Centre.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. And I, of course, will let the Minister for the Environment speak for himself on that issue. But I do want to express my own opinion regarding Kyoto, and that is that if members opposite cannot see that Kyoto has been a massive failure, not only in terms of what the Liberal government did with it in Canada, but what countries across the world are not doing with it, then they're out of touch, because I think every Canadian knows that Kyoto has been a massive failure. In fact, although I'm gratified the member opposite mentioned CTV, I'd like to quote again from CBC commentator Rex Murphy, who said as quotes, "Kyoto has been for the majority of countries that signed on to it a mere pantomime. Emissions continue to rise, carbon markets floundered or were beset with graft, but everyone kept up the pretense." So the real charade is not what my colleague across the way is mentioning. The real charade is Kyoto.
Resuming debate, the honourable member